Welcome to the first ever episode of the M19 Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Ryan Pineda. My other co-host, Javi Chavez, will be interviewing some of our other amazing members here at M19. And today, I want to highlight somebody who is a savage in the marketing world. This guy has done millions of dollars worth of offers and products and ads, and we're going to learn a lot about marketing today with none other than Will Perry. What up, man?
Good to be here. I like this little dreamy fireplace setting we've got.
I know.
It's very romantic.
We're out here in Pebble Beach right now, and this is the presidential suite. They upgraded me for free. So I'm like, all right, let's film some podcasts. This is a great time to start.
Absolutely.
So, bro, these episodes are going to be short and sweet, like 20 minutes. So give me a little brief background about your business and what you guys do.
Yeah, for sure. So I own an ad agency called Reason, and we just crossed our 11th year. And primarily what we do is lead generation and customer acquisition, specifically in or with telehealth brands. So a lot of paid traffic, a lot of ads, funnel optimization, things like that, just really big volume. And, typically we're working on like a cost per acquisition basis, which just means, those brands pay us per lead. And our goal is acquiring thousands, of leads for them a month.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the business size. How many employees do you guys have? What kind of revenues are you guys doing? How's that all work?
Yep. Yeah, we have 18 to 20 people, depending on where we're at. We've got a couple, VAs that are part of that too, where it flexes sometimes. But 2025, we did 8.5 million. Really pushing to do beyond that, this year. And especially with telehealth, I mean, this space is blowing up like crazy. And it's allowed us as well to sort of like work with super high growth, businesses as well. And we've kind of attached ourselves to that.
Yeah. So tell me about like, how does the business work? You said you guys generate leads for other companies like telehealth brands and, like I'm on peptides and I'm seeing all these GLP-1s and all this stuff. So walk me through how exactly your business would function.
Yeah. So let's just use a super common brand that everybody would know, like Hims, Hers, Row. We would basically partner with them, and they might, typically, they're looking for affiliate partners, publishers, lead generation vendors and things like that to basically help them scale their customer acquisition. Because basically how those businesses work is they're operating on lifetime value, meaning, they know that a customer's worth $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. And they're like, hey, Will and team, we'll pay you $400 to get us a customer. They're making 5X,
right?
On that. So we're building sort of the paid traffic, ecosystem on our side to basically help them acquire, on our side, we aim to acquire a few thousand customers a month for brands like that.
So do you guys spend your own money to do this?
We spend our own money.
So you're spending your own money on ads.
Yep.
And you're just looking at the CAC and you're saying, hey, they'll pay me $500 for this customer, and I know I can get the customer for $250.
Right. I mean, I wish the margins were 50%.
Yeah.
I mean, typically we aim for a 20% net on that, so it wouldn't be uncommon, where we would, especially months that are booming, where we're getting internal CAC for 400 and we're getting 500.
Right.
Yep.
So you guys did over 8 million last year, and so I gotta imagine most of the expense then is just ads.
Ad spend, yeah.
Like at least 60%.
Yeah, it's a ad spend, cash flow intensive business. Like we have to maintain multiple millions in cash and credit line at the same time in order to like be able to churn high volume like we churn.
Yeah. Did Meta switch you guys over to their credit line yet?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
They switched us over, and they gave us a $1.25 million line.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's a
lot.
I'm
assuming that will happen at some point for us as well. I mean, obviously we love the points and the cash back on the spend. There's some companies that are popping up that'll help with that, but if anything, that'll just extend the cash flow period for us.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I just now got over $1 million credit line. Like, that's great.
Yeah.
Now I still have my credit cards.
Right.
I can go book out all these venues for M19 on my credit cards and all these things that I got to use cash for anyways.
Right. Yeah. So, from initially, it was like, are we sure that this is going to be okay? But more about, extending that cash flow period, especially for somebody like us that's, we're operating on multiple millions at a time and spend.
Right.
Yeah.
So with your business, you're really just looking for great partners that, have great products that have big, addressable markets that you
Yeah.
can market to, and who really just are looking like, they're like, dude, we'll buy them for 500 all day. And you just reverse engineer.
Yeah, for us, like we are like a growth mechanism. We are like a fuel to a fire. Where a lot of brands or businesses will go wrong, like even with marketing partners, is they sort of put all the accountability onto the marketing partner when really it's the business's responsibility to own the offer, own the marketing, like build the infrastructure, get the product market fit. And then when you partner with affiliates and things like that, they should just be pouring fuel on the fire. Like it's about speed and
Yeah, like I even
efficiency.
know, even for us at M19, it's like a referral fee is like one of the ways to do it. But I'm
Yeah,
like, dude, send me as many people as you can for X amount of dollars. I don't
right,
care. Like our margins will be good. And
right.
if you assume all the risk, then all good.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a similar concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me about like what's working in your business and then what's been a struggle recently.
Yeah, it's kind of almost the same the same
Yeah.
thing that's working in struggle because, you know, our primary function is, obviously on the ad side, right? So the content machine internally, which you know a
Yeah.
lot about this, right? Like it's both the pro and the con. The pro being if you can build a content machine that can scale with volume, it becomes the asset that allows you to scale. And on the other end of it, without having building out that marketing team, on our side, it's more about, creators having relationships with or being able to generate UGC, having video editors, all of that stuff. Like that's both the bottleneck and the mechanism that allows for scale. And that's probably pretty common with most online businesses is just the content constraint.
Right.
Like nowadays, I mean, we've all heard about the Hormozy videos and stuff about the thousands and thousands of pieces of content, that people are pushing out. And it's like, that's the mechanism for growth these days, especially from a digital marketing perspective.
Yeah. How is AI like changing your
Yeah.
content strategy with being able to put out more creatives and things?
Yeah. I mean, right now we're building like research engines where like we can do market research, automate that whole process, and actually push the creation of static content directly through like a whole Claude loop. So that's some of the stuff that we're building internally where we can automate the research, we can automate the input of the research then into static content. We haven't quite figured it out yet for video, but obviously there's all kinds of AI video out there, but from a performance perspective, it's hit or miss in terms of, of it performing because people don't trust the video content yet.
Right.
But we're automating a lot of those manual processes where we can then speed up content creation.
Yeah. You guys know I love the game of golf, and that is why I started M19. It is a golf mastermind for entrepreneurs who are doing over 7 figures in their business and who want to go on bucket list golf trips together. We already have hundreds of members all across the country, and we've been to some of the best courses in the world, places like Pebble Beach, Pinehurst, Bandon Dunes, and many others. The course is the best place to do deals, make great relationships, and have fun. So go to mastermind19.com today. You know what's so interesting about your business is you only have to focus on like one real aspect of business, which is like
Acquisition.
acquisition.
Yeah.
And, I think about all the things we do where it's like, yeah, we've got to do acquisition, we've got to do sales, we've got to do fulfillment,
Yeah.
and all these things. Do you guys have you guys ever had to deal with fulfillment or anything, or you've just always been lead gen?
Yeah, we've, obviously people ask me all the time. They're like, Will, why don't you go launch your own brand,
Yeah.
start your own telehealth, this and that. And it's like, I think it comes down to like, what are you good at and what do you focus on? And I've just made a career on 2 primary systems, which is lead generation and sales systems. And our fulfillment is on the lead generation essentially. So like we still have our own fulfillment, but it's not like we're shipping product, right? Like our fulfillment is the lead generation systems, the processes, all that stuff.
Yeah, your fulfillment is just getting the
Yeah.
CAC at $400.
Exactly, as best as we can, right?
Right.
And not having all of that other complexity. Obviously, partner in other businesses, with fulfillment and things like that. But I think complexity, is difficult to scale, and our business is already difficult to scale as it is.
Yeah.
Because it's very highly expertise driven.
Right.
So like you've got to be really good to be on our team.
Yeah.
because it's marketing driven, and I mean, we all know how
Yeah.
that goes in our space.
So tell me about, like, what does your day-to-day look like as the business owner and operator?
Cash flow manager, like
Yeah.
managing cash, is a big focus, week over week. A lot of high level strategy. We've got the team pretty well built out now, department heads, head of operations, all that stuff. So I'm really more so looking at things from a hiring perspective, removing constraints, like allowing removing those constraints so that we can hit forecasts and things like that. So I'm working more on the business these days than I'm not really working in the business at all, which is, it's taken a long time to get to that point, but it's
Yeah.
pretty
Well, that
pretty
that
nice.
actually brings me to the next part. So, you've been an M19 member now pretty much from the beginning
Yeah.
ish. You've been to I think 4 of the 5 events.
Yeah.
Uh,
Super
so
fan.
so clearly you're not like working in the business too
Yeah.
hard to be able to keep going on all these trips. What made you want to join? What was attractive to you?
I mean, obviously, several things. Javi and I were actually joking about this yesterday. We got on when I got on the call with him, he's like, bucket list trips, mastermind with other successful business owners. I was like, how much? I'm in.
Yeah.
So it was like literally the easiest thing for me. But I think like, obviously love golf, and, the places that we go are just literally top notch, right? Like we do it right. You guys do it right. Pebble, Pinehurst, like Kiowa, we've gone to some sick tracks. But I think more than anything else, it's like, I want to be around other 8 and 9 figure business owners, and I want to learn how they think. I want to see, how they operate. Like for me, I'm very observational, so I like to analyze behavior and see what people do and what they say and stuff like that, and I learn from that. I mean, that was, so it was like golf and mastermind from that capacity, plus,
Yeah.
just being honest, like there's not that many great clubs in Orlando, and multi-year wait lists, and
Yeah.
it's like the best of both worlds, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
and I can't play golf that much as it is,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
you're also a good golfer.
Yeah.
You're close to scratch golfer, and you know, like you can swing it.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite track so far?
I mean, we haven't played Pebble yet,
I
but
know
I'm pretty
we're playing
sure
Pebble today.
today, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be like the
Have you
dreamy.
ever played it before?
Have not.
Okay, cool.
Can't wait. So the closest that I've played to this is probably Bandon.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah,
it's
I can't
sweet.
wait to get out there. Pinehurst was great. I've been fortunate to play a lot of other great places and have traveled a lot, to do all that. But Pebble's been number one, and
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking outside right
yeah,
now, and it's
it's
just like
amazing.
the hotel is just overlooking the whole ocean. You're
Yep.
just like, this is nuts.
Yeah, for sure.
So, what are some good connections or things that you've learned from some of the people in the group?
I mean, I think like, it's I was having a chat with Brett last night, who's one of, our members.
Yeah, he's a lawyer out of California.
Yeah, awesome guy, big personality. But we have very similar business models, because in personal injury law firm, like they operate also on and here I am throwing a plug for Brett. So
Yeah,
good for Brett.
yeah, he'll
But
be on
like,
the show.
yeah, our revenue can be volatile, and that has an impact on the mental state, of the owner,
Yeah,
right?
yep,
And so like even just being able to have those like situational based conversations, with someone else outside the industry, for example. And as weird as it sounds, like, it's like, hey man, I'm dealing with the same thing. Like, oh wow, like I wouldn't have thought that maybe, you in a completely different industry, experience some of the same stuff that we experience, where, you have to sit on, big credit lines, and you will have 7-figure months, and then next month could be a $100,000 month.
Well, yeah, and you're gonna lose a lot of money. You still
Yeah.
got the same overhead.
Yeah, and you still got the same overhead, and, so, I mean, that, like, have been able to have, like, some of those really, like, nuanced conversations, as well as, like, some other guys who are doing things that I wanna do in the future, like, more of, like, an M&A equity, style play from a consulting perspective, and just kinda, seeing how the moves that they're making. But, I mean, honestly, like, you know, uh a bit of a plug, but like this is some M19 something that you want to be a part of for like multiple years. So it's like you're getting to meet people that you're going to be friends with,
Yeah,
and like even George, right? Like we'll probably be homies for like a long time.
yeah.
Same thing with meeting you and Javi and the other guys. Like none of us are really going anywhere, and
Yeah.
we'll be able to create connections, maybe lead to business in the future, stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think too, obviously you'll like learn business things and make business connections, but then I've really noticed the friendship element, like you
Yeah.
said, where it's like, what other way would we all just go hang out?
Yeah.
We all live in different, cities
Yeah.
across the world, and it's like, oh, okay, well, Pebble's this date,
Yeah.
you want to go? You want to go? All right, well, I'll just go. And
It's
then
like a business.
it's a
boys
reunion.
Trip. Yeah, yeah. Like when we were driving over, I was like, "This is the best excuse for a boys' trip." Like,
yeah,
that's
we're learning.
Yeah, we're learning.
It's an education write-off,
and it's expensible. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you think that this is different from other masterminds? Because we come from the digital info world where we've been a part of a lot of marketing masterminds and things like that. And I think one of the reasons I created it was because I'm like, look, the seminars are all great. And at some point you need that to like learn the basics. And then, sitting in rooms is cool, but like it gets stale and boring. And so like, I was just like, what if we just hung out for 3 days straight? And then the conversations are just going to happen.
Yeah, it just happens organically, right? But I mean, like I've been in a ton of other masterminds and stuff. And if I'm just being honest, like one of the things that I like about M19 is there's no BDE, right? There's no like massive ego to the point where like people are showing up like inauthentic. And the authenticity is just like a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Personally, right? And I think like most everyone is here for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Not everyone's like trying to push their stuff onto other people and whatnot. Like obviously, some of us are going to try to do deals together and like, and we all want to do that.
Yeah.
But the vibe's not that,
Yeah. It's not pitchy and salesy.
Yeah. It's not pitchy and salesy and like, there's just good humans.
Yeah. So as we wrap up here, obviously you've had a lot of success in life. You're a great golfer. How do you think life and golf, like what are some lessons from golf that apply to life or business?
Yeah. So my sort of career in sales and marketing started in the golf academy space. And one of the things that, he was a top 50 Golf Digest instructor that led our academy. And one of the things that he always used to say is the golf ball always knows what your mind is thinking.
Yeah.
In other words, right? Like it's kind of like, you basically attract, law of attraction, right? Like you attract what you put out, into the universe, so to speak. And so, with that, it's like if you carry a negative mindset, you're going to hit a bad shot. If you carry a positive mindset, you're going to roll that into the next shot, the next hole, be able to bounce back, sort of, et cetera. And I just think in general, golf exposes integrity, it exposes character, it exposes your ability to like rebound, it exposes your ability to stay disciplined, like all that, stay focused, etc. And you can learn a lot about somebody when you play golf. Like
it's funny, you meet somebody who just gets so mad when they just can't.
And I've thrown some clubs. Like, don't get me wrong,
Yeah. And it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Like.
But you find out who you want to do business with, right? And I've seen some of that, while we've been here, be like, I'd do business with you, I wouldn't do business with you.
Yeah.
And me and Ryan McGinn have done some stuff about that. And I remember this one time we did this thing about there's, 3 different types of golfers or whatever. And yeah, I mean, you can learn a lot about somebody. Do they cheat? Right? Like when they're on the course, like then you're like, okay, do you cut corners when you do deals with people? Like that's something to watch out for.
Yeah.
Do you get super heated? Like, are you super emotional? Like, don't get me wrong. Like I can lose my temper, when I'm on the golf course, but like, do you act childish? Are you immature?
Yeah.
Like all those things are exposed in golf. And it's just like, it just shows, how what it would be like to partner or work with somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. I think whenever there's competition, you get to see how people are. Business is very competitive.
Yeah.
And like normal everyday life, you're having a dinner or whatever. It's like, oh, okay. Like there's no competitive element to this. It's like you could be on your best behavior trying to impress somebody.
Yeah.
But the moment you're with somebody for 4 or 5 hours and you're competing and betting and doing these things, it's like, you get to see like how they respond when the heat's on.
The heat's on. Or even just like, are they lame, right? Because you're sitting in the cart with them forever, right? Like they could just be boring.
Yeah, we don't want any lames.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I appreciate you, man. Anything else you want to mention? Where can people find you if they want to work with you and all that stuff?
Yeah, Will Perry on LinkedIn. And, basically from a RevOps perspective, if you need help with lead generation, sales systems, we can definitely do that. But, just want to give a plug to M19 as well. Like if you're a business owner that, is looking for a high level group, you love to golf, like this is a great place,
Yeah.
like to meet great people and meet some great connections and play some fantastic golf.
Love it. Well, appreciate you, bro. Guys, we will link to Will's LinkedIn down below. So guys, go check that out. And if you haven't, applied or thought about joining M19, go to mastermind19.com right now today. We'll link to that down below and become a member. We'll see you on the next episode.